Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Jackie.
Let's get going with our third episode of the Rocker Skating Podcast. Welcome, everyone, to this is now week 3 of our live podcasts. Michelle, are you still in it with me? Are you like, this guy's crazy?
I am. I mean, so far so good. You're doing all the heavy lifting, so I'm just showing up and talking, and it's been great so far.
Well, heavy lifting, but also like, hey, we both have to heavy lift because we're both watching lots of stuff and analyzing lots of stuff. Let's start with the Junior Grand Prix because that just started this past week, and that was our first Junior Grand Prix of the season in Latvia. There was some really interesting things that happened there. Just like looking at some of the skaters and the potential for the future. I mean, Rio Nakata is just like, he's amazing.
He has so much lift
very
into his
future.
Jumps.
Yeah.
And he has just so much attack when he competes. I'm really frustrated with the age rule. I mean, I think it was the change was made with good intentions, but now we have 2 really talented, high-profile Japanese skaters who would both be in contention for the Olympic team that aren't, and I think who would both be close to 17 or 17 by the time the games actually happened, but because of the July 1st thing, won't be there. And Rio Nakata is one of them. Mao Shimada, obviously, being the other. Tried starting her 12th season on the Junior Grand Prix this year. Is it her 4th season?
It is her 4th season.
Yeah. It's kind of frustrating.
It's heartbreaking.
They didn't have anything to do with the issues that led to the change, and they're the ones paying the price.
Well, and it doesn't help because when they started skating and their coaches were, making their plans for everything, right? Like the rules were different, and you push. A lot of skaters will push for the Olympics, and they will the coaches, especially for high performing novices and junior skaters, they're going to put together a plan such that you start peaking more toward the Olympics. And now we're talking about both of them not being able to get there. I mean, it's not unlike, but very much unlike, but is not unlike the sentiment that we felt with Mao Asada back in 2006 when she was not eligible to get to be in the senior ranks. And so there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of like, how does someone like a Mao Shimada, who has been doing these big jumps for a couple of years now, how does she continue to keep up, the technical content and not get injured and all of that sort of stuff? Because if you looked at Mao Asada's career, she was doing triple axels, quad sows like they were nothing. And then once she became senior, she really did need to work to keep some of those things, especially that triple axel, which was her baby, and some of those triples, which were on and off, right? Like they just were not as easy for her when she was as they were when she was a junior. So par for the course, I guess, at these days.
Yeah, it's challenging too. I'm sure we're going to have headlines this year about how Mao Shimada is on the junior ranks outscoring whoever wins the Olympics or wins the Worlds. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
so
that is going to be everywhere. So Junior Grand Prix in Latvia, the Riga Cup, it was, as we said, Rio Nakata winning by a pretty sizable margin, 25 points, not unexpectedly at all. May Okada winning on the women's side. Kemp and Elizarov, who has been on the junior scene from Canada, also winning by a pretty comfortable margin, 15 points. The junior pairs are always a bit of a crapshoot because you really do have a good general like revolving door of juniors coming. One, because sort of that you got your splits and all those types of things, but also the age differences with the partners are also a factor in whether or not they continue on the junior circuit. And so get to see some repeat names, right? Like a Williams and Luer and a Telemaki Kulan, like those types. We're seeing a little bit more, as we're seeing with the other disciplines, of repeat customers, if you will, on the junior rank because of the age rules. And then ice dance, Veillon and Brandis from Canada, going from second to first and just getting that gold. So your highlights from the Junior Grand Prix.
Well, on the dance side, Veillon and Brandis, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing those correctly, but they skated really well in the free dance. They really skated with, I think Mark Hanratty called it winner energy. They really delivered. They're a Scott Moyer team, and they train in IAM, Ontario, and they were very impressive. They've been together a really long time. I thought it was a very convincing win for them. I also enjoyed seeing Sherry Zhang in the women's event in her short program skating to East of Eden.
So good.
It was very Michelle Kwan vibes. It was a beautiful program, really nice way she hit the musical accents. Having a few little issues with her triple jumps, which I don't know what that is at the moment. Hopefully she can get that figured out. If she can, that program is going to hit at Nationals. It's going to be magical.
I mean, you and I watched her at Nationals last year, and she was a breakout, one of the breakout junior to seniors. And it is interesting to see how the way she practices is a little bit different than the way that she competes.
Yes.
But she's got star quality, and getting the right set of sort of consistency and mental toughness in there is going to help her a lot. You look at her component marks, and with all those mistakes, she was still amongst the top in the short program, and she did make a bit of a comeback in the free skate, but still not quite there, right? But I gotta say, the other American, Angela Shao, impressed by her as well on the components side. She's got some just really good basics, and I think that she's another one to watch on from the American side.
Speaking of Michelle Kwan vibes, I was sort of surprised when May Okada opened her free skate with a triple loop. I haven't seen that in a while. She goes out and does triple loop, and then she did triple flip, triple toe.
Yeah, those of us who followed Michelle Kwan have nightmares about triple loops, and also those of us who followed Yuna Kim had nightmares about triple loops.
I was at the final in Torino. I think it was the last time she did it in competition, and she fell on it really badly in the free skate. And the way she fell, it was I don't know, it was like a deer crumbling. It was just we never saw it again.
I know, we never saw it again. It's fine.
Bye.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Just give me another double axel. I gotta let me go back to Ryo Nakata, because he just, I feel like last year when he was sort of coming on to the scene, there was this feeling like, this kid could go somewhere. And he seems like he's very talented. He always had these sort of fluke programs where he made a whole bunch of mistakes. And I think toward the second half of the season, he started getting it together kind of as a whole package. And seeing him here doing a clean short, almost setting a junior world record with that clean short, and then in the free doing a quad sow, a quad toe. The only error that he had was on a triple axel.
It was wild.
I mean, I think great progress across the board, and I just feel like he now is starting everything with such swagger that I'm like, I feel like you are, where you are now, what you're doing, and it's a good feeling, I think.
Yeah, the swagger is real. I mean, you can just feel it in him coming into it. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. What else? Anything else you want to talk about with the Junior Grand Prix?
I liked both of the French junior dance teams. I was really interested in both of them. I thought they both had really creative programs, and I was, pleased to see how well they scored. So, yeah. I also was really excited to see all the rhythm dances with the 90s music. And it was kind of an interesting selection people chose. There was a fair number of like expected like Spice Girls,
Right.
Backstreet Boys, but we also got like Snap and Delight and Crystal Waters, and that was fun to watch.
This is going to be a whole new generation
Yeah.
knowing about Crystal Waters because,
Bless
you know,
up.
you and I grew up on 100% pure love, and
Yeah.
it's good education for the youth.
It is.
I think so. Okay. Actually, before we move on, the other thing I wanted to talk about was Yusong Kim, who had not a great short program. I mean, she's been on the Junior Grand Prix before, medaled on the Junior Grand Prix before, actually won one of the Junior Grand Prix in the past couple of seasons, and so you actually expected her to be someone to potentially not just medal, but potentially actually win this thing. And it didn't happen, but she did have a decent comeback in the free skate. She does have that triple axel, which helps, right? But the consistency wasn't there this week. Hopefully it'll come back later this season. Let's get over to that skate to Milano, otherwise known as Chinese Nebelhorn. It is a very niche nickname that we're giving it here. For those of you who have no idea what we are talking about, Skate to Milano is going to be the qualifying competition for the remaining country spots. So not actual athlete spots, right? Not the skaters who will be qualifying, but the skaters will be there to qualify the remaining spots for their countries, which they hope will go to them if they qualify them. And so this used to be for probably the last
20 years.
at least 6 Olympic cycles. It used to be Nebelhorn Trophy. And for those of you who know,
combined competition. So
it's exactly.
Yeah, it's a real competition, and so other people can enter. And then there'd also be Olympic qualifiers in there.
Right. And so the reason that they sort of extracted this out was that this is literally just Olympic qualifying. There's no other, it's not a challenger series. It's not something where like there are other forces who are coming in, right, to potentially kind of change the dynamic. This is literally every single skater who is going to be competing at this is looking for a spot for their country. And so as some of you know, many of you probably know, there is a set number of spots that are allotted for each of the disciplines at the Olympics. So the men's and the women's get 29 spots each. Pairs get 19 spots. And the dance get 23 spots. And if you're still with me, the World Championships last year had qualified a number of those spots, and those were all determined mathematically. Don't ask me to explain it to you now because I had it all memorized about 6 months ago, and I don't remember it anymore. But I think there is some recording of it on my Instagram at some point. So if you want to go there. But you know what? If you have questions on that, let us know because I'm happy to explain it. But the remaining spots, right? So out of those spots that I just talked about, there were spots that were not allocated because of the rules. And so at this competition that's going to happen in Beijing, 5 men's spots, 5 women's spots, 3 pair spots, and 4 ice dance spots are still left for countries to qualify. And the countries that can qualify are a combination of, one, the countries that didn't qualify any spots at all in any of in a certain discipline, right? So they're allowed to send one skater or one team to whatever that is to try to get the spot. But 2, the other complication is there were spots that were sort of asterisks, if you will. So the U.S., we'll talk about the U.S. pairs, right, for example, or the French men, they did enough to qualify 3 spots for the World Championships next year. But because they only had 2 entries in the World Championships, the way that the rules worked is that that third spot has to then be qualified at this competition. And that's to do a lot of things, right, to ensure sort of equity and in how the spots are given out. But it's also to prevent an incident like we had in 2018 where a country technically qualified a spot but couldn't get it because it was out of the originally allotted spots. And so the U.S. pairs, if folks remember,
that was us.
Originally qualified 2 spots, but they had to actually only have 1 spot because of how the rules worked. And the way that they rejiggered this whole thing was that kind of scenario would not happen anymore. So that's my long-winded explanation of the whole thing.
The change also helped make sure that everyone that is at the Olympics is a really high-performing athlete. So you wouldn't have the case where you have someone who has a country that has, like, say, one standout skater and really no one else that is that competitive on the world level getting all to go to the Olympics. So you're going to make sure everybody really, it's like the very top echelon of athletes around the world.
Yeah, and you know, it is tough because you only get so many spots at the Olympics, and you know, it's been, I'm sure, a topic of much discussion within the federations trying to figure out what's going to happen here. So, okay, without further ado, let's talk about Chinese Nebelhorn, or Skate to Milano. Lots of interesting things happened because we saw the entries go in, and I will preface this with, these are not the final entries. These are the entries that the countries have put in as who is currently going there. But we know that there are countries that are still between the different skaters who's going to potentially go there, because you know, part of it is obviously like, hey, we want whoever is trending the most positive as close as possible to actually get there. But also, it would be really awful if the skater who qualified a spot didn't end up getting the spot. And so I think there's a lot riding on this, right? And so we'll see what happens with all of that. But for me, the biggest surprise, and maybe not surprise because we talked about this last week, Sui and Han is not on the entries list.
Yeah. Well, they are alternates. So they're technically, their names are on there, but they are not at this moment the entry. It's Zhang and Huang who are set to compete. And I think they're a first-year senior team, I want to say. And
Perhaps.
I think they were the ones who were at Junior Worlds last year that were...
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And considering there are only 3 pair spots up for grabs, they're leaving a little bit to chance. I would be horrible for them to not get one. And that be the end of Sui and Han's Olympic comeback.
I mean, I would imagine that, like, if Sui and Han are going to are going to try for the Olympics, like, they got to be the ones qualifying for this spot. It would be incredibly unfair.
Well, yeah. And you know, if there's only 3 pair spots, presumably if another country has a withdrawal and the spots are given back, we can get to the alternate list. But just looking at this list, Karina Akhapova and Nikita Rachmanin from Armenia, they're a Russian pair. They train with Fedor Klimov, and they were released to skate for Armenia. I believe Karina's got an Armenian family member, so she was able to get them citizenship. They're very strong. And I would expect Nagaoka and Moriguchi, a second Japanese team, are going to be strong competitors. And Audrey Shin and Balazs Naj from the U.S. are going to be strong. Not to mention like Valesi and Bidar from the Czech Republic, the Kovalevs from France. I mean, these are a lot of teams that have people in them with a lot of experience.
Yeah, exactly. And Taeyok Ryom back again for North Korea.
Yeah.
It is going to be a tough we saw this from when we looked at this to begin with the 19 pairs, right? Like 16 of them got the spots, and it was going to be whoever was going to not get the spots at the World Championships. It was going to be quite the fight to end up, with the spot there. I think Shin and Naj, for me, probably are still likely a TBD, right? As the spot for the pairs, because John Nix is coming up the competition, and that's going to pit basically every single one of these pairs against each other. And I would imagine whoever comes out on top there is going to end up going to Beijing for the spots. Do we know if Daniil Parkman has citizenship?
He does not.
Yeah, I thought not.
I'm not sure if he has a green card yet, but I think as of last year he didn't have a green card. So they're planning for 2030.
Right, exactly. So McBeath and Parkman, probably I would imagine the U.S. won't send them unless they feel like they're the ones who are going to actually really qualify the spot, right? Because they know they can't actually go to the Olympics. But for me, likely a Shin and Naj versus Chan and Hao kind of battle, given Chan and Hao have had quite a good history, right, of actual international success there. Let's go to the dance, because there were some intriguing things with dance that happened this week, right? So currently 4 spots available for dance. We were earlier in the week, we had heard about Yuka Orihara from Finland not getting her Finnish citizenship. And
Japanese.
then potentially releasing that spot, right, for Finland, because the third team in Finland also has that same issue. But we heard that maybe they're still trying.
Yeah, the Finnish Federation clarified. They're like, no, we're not giving the spot back yet. We're going to have her do a language test. We're going to see what we can do, see if like a special accommodation can be made. Who knows if that's really going to come through, but I think that makes the first alternate spot really, really more important than usual. I mean, last Olympic cycle, first alternates were out of luck. They never got to go. But in this case, I think it's possible.
Yeah. And I will say, if you are a potential first alternate for the Olympics and you're listening to this podcast, stay prepared. Because we have had instances where the first alternate and even more were called to compete at the Olympics, and they were not training. And I go back to the Michael Christian Martinez example from Sochi. Was it Sochi? No, it was Pyeongchang. And that he basically stopped training between Nebelhorn and probably like early January when he got the news, and like had to basically, get himself ready really quickly, like within a month.
Getting his skating skills back on practice there.
Yeah. So, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. So first alternates, I beg of you, please. So there's the dance. I mean, dance-wise, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Maria Kazakova, Georgian ice dancer. She had a ton of success on the junior level and competed on the senior level in Beijing with her previous partner, who then retired due to injury. She has a new partner, and I don't think that we really thought he was going to get released in time for this, but apparently he has. And so she is on the list for Georgia, and because Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin were 10th at Worlds, Georgia is one of those asterisk countries in dance, and they could secure a second spot. I don't know if it'll happen, but
yeah, I mean, we haven't seen them, so that's TBD.
Yeah,
but you look down this list, and you've got Harris Chan, you've got Wang and Liu, you've got Val Kasimov, Ignatieva Zemko, Mani Roethlisberger, and whoever might actually be the actual Italian team that represents Italy there. And I mean, as you said, Rita Neverlicious is they're gonna win this thing.
Yeah.
So lots of potential, right, for actually a lot of intrigue for those 4/ maybe 5 spots that are still left to go.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Okay, what about the singles?
So we have the AIN athletes from Russia on the list. And I read Match TV is reporting that Russia is sending its alternates as well to Beijing. So they have everybody on site just in case, because they want to make sure they get their qualification for the Olympics. Adelia Petrosian is going to be competing her programs from last season. It's like a Michael Jackson short program. I think it's a tango free skate.
Yeah. For those who are not familiar, AIN is the neutral athletes. And there was basically what happened was the Olympic Committee and the ISU sort of put together this, like, we're going to allow for neutral athletes to come, and Belarus and Russia are in that kind of set of athletes. One entry for each of the disciplines was available, but you had to submit names beforehand to get cleared, and those names had to be vetted against a bunch of rules, which I'm not going to get into. And if the main name was not approved to compete, the alternate names don't even get looked at. Yeah. And so what ended up happening was Russia sent, their 4 potential entries for each of the disciplines, and the pairs entry and the dance entry was denied. And so Russia will not have a pair or a dance team at the Olympics. So that really kind of, they won't have a pair or a dance team in this competition to try to qualify a spot for the Olympics. And so that actually really changed the dynamics of what we thought was going to happen at this competition, because that pairs, we were just talking about, that pairs 3 spots was going to be even more competitive with the potential of a Russian pair. Of course, now we have a Russian pair that became an Armenian pair, right? Like that's a different story. But that changes things. So, but the Russia does have a potential spot to qualify for the men and for the women, right? Yeah. For the men, Gumenik is going to be on there, and then for the women, it's going to be Petrosian.
We have some other high-profile names in the women's entries.
Yes.
Luna Hendricks and Anastasia Gubanova are both competing there.
Gubanova, of course, didn't get out of the short program at Worlds, which was just it was
shocking.
So shocking. And then she came back a couple weeks later and skated a clean free skate at World Team Trophy and was just like, what the heck? Why not do this when I was there? And Luna Hendricks, of course, was injured all last season. This was Nina Pinzarone getting that second asterisk spot for Belgium, and now Luna Hendricks has to go and qualify it. And so this is, kind of make your own destiny, right? This is her chance to get that spot for herself for the Olympics. And, we've seen some practice videos from her. She's looking generally very good. Hopefully the injuries will stay at bay. And all goes well. It does look like it's probably the Gubanova and Hendricks and Petrosian are likely going to be there.
Top 3.
And then you got 2 more spots, and a lot of things can happen.
I'm really hoping that Josephine Taljaard shows up. And
You know how much I like myself a Josephine Taljaard program. Yep. So I as well. And they just did Swedish test skates as well this past week, and she looked pretty good. Like probably more prepared early this season, not surprisingly given, you have to qualify for the Olympics. But looking pretty good.
I mean, I want to say the women's field isn't as deep as other disciplines. I think that she has a chance here. I think that Safonova has a chance. She's another neutral athlete, Victoria Safonova. She's from Belarus. Yeah, I think we could see some surprises in the fourth and fifth spots. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing about this one, because you've got a very clear top three, likely. There's a lot of potential movement with that fourth or fifth spot, and that's gonna make for some intriguing skating viewing. Okay, for the men, we have the 5 spots, and you would think Gumenik is going to qualify one, and then you're like, okay, this could be a lot of people, right? Francois Pitot for France right now. We'll see what happens after French Masters, right? Whether he's going to end up being the one going. Tamir Cooperman for Israel, who you talked about last week or 2 weeks ago at Cranberry Cup. And, we just had another Israel men's skate off at Skate Detroit that was won by Mark Ornitsky. So, who knows how that's going to change things up. Crowd favorite Donovan Carrillo. Everybody wants him at the Olympics for sure, given she's just, so fun to watch. So, you go down this list, and again, like, I think outside of Gumenik, I don't see a real, like, surefire, this person is going to definitely make it, because there's just, I think, a potential for so much movement. I mean, Menning became a verb for a reason.
Yeah. What do you think about the Korean men's selection? Do you think that'll stay the same, or they'll probably have 2 more competitions before that?
Yeah, for sure. I think probably, given Hang Yeon Kim has been sort of that second guy for a bit now. I just don't see the other guys being as consistent as him. So who knows? I mean, Korea is very well known for how rigorous their qualification procedures are. So we'll see where that ends up. But yeah, I mean, going down this list it's going to be interesting. So 5 spots for the men, 5 spots for the women, 3 spots for the pairs, 4 spots, potentially 5 for the dance. And again, first alternates, please stay ready. We don't want to have another incident. Anything else about Chinese Nebelhor? We will return to this when this happens later in the fall.
Yeah, it's going to be streaming, so we'll get to watch.
I know. I mean, all the action will be covered. So exciting.
Yeah, well, they didn't stream the Olympic test event, so I was concerned they might not stream this. But they streamed. They're going to stream it. So
thank goodness. All right. Well, we're nearing the end of our 3rd episode here. I'm going to end us with what are you obsessed about this week? What are you obsessed about, Michelle?
I want to say Sherry Zhang's spiral sequence. I don't know why. It just kind of got me. It was beautiful. That was probably my moment of the week. In a short program.
In the short program, yes. Yeah. I'm going to go back to something we just talked about, Josephine Taillagard.
Yeah.
Celine Dion free skate. It's all coming back to me now. I mean, we saw it from like some amateur camera in the stands, and I felt it. I don't know if you felt it. I felt it. I think it's a great program. She's so known for just pouring her heart and soul out to these programs and the choreography, and let's hope she keeps her jumps going and gets herself to the Olympics, because and also that the Swedish Federation will let her go to the Olympics if she qualifies that. Like, there's all the Swedish Federation, lots of history behind that one. We'll see where that goes.
Let's make sure she gets the components she deserves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you can say all the things about, maybe that she's a little bit slow or whatnot, but like, that's not all the components are about.
Yeah. No. One thing we didn't mention with the AIN entries is that they're not securing a spot for their country. They're securing their own spot. So everyone else at the Olympic qualifier, your country could send someone else.
Right.
But for those, that skater secures their spot. And if they can't go, then the alternate doesn't get to go. It's over. So speaking of staying healthy, those people need to be very careful.
Speaking of staying healthy and not doing crazy things.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, we are nearing the end of this episode. Anything else you want to mention before we sign off?
Not really. Can't wait for more JGP.
I know. More Junior Grand Prix coming up this week. And I am sure plenty more news to happen.
YouTube pushed me to the edge with the ads on the JGP, and I signed up for YouTube Premium this week because I could not take it anymore. I'm just like, why is this happening? It was really bothering me during Cranberry Cup too, because like they were playing, it was like the live feed in the middle of Isabeau's like step sequence. We go to an ad. Well, it's crazy.
It's better than what it used to be, which was it actually took you completely out of the video and went to an ad versus like this like sort of pop-up thing. It's still annoying. But speaking of YouTube, we are actually now going live on YouTube. If you are listening to us from there, we will continue to make improvements and tweaks and everything to this podcast. We may come on video at some point, if I can convince Michelle.
We'll see.
And we're getting to the point where it's going to be in the middle of the night, and I'm just going to come to you live and talk about some random competition. Things are going to happen with the Rocker Skating Podcast that has never happened before, and I'm very excited for it.
Me too.
All right. Well, for Michelle Ellis, this is Jackie Wong, Chief Skate Nerd at rockerskating.com. And as always, I have to thank our editor and producer, Tara Wellman, Tara Nichols. I did that again, Tara Nichols. And we'll come back and see you all next week. Bye.